Moin, ihr wunderbare Menschen des Interwebs. Ich begrüße euch ganz herzlich zurück zu meinem Let's Play von The Great Ace-Attorney Chronicles. Es geht heute in den ersten Verhandlungstag und eine ganz kleine Anmerkung wieder zu Beginn. Ich weiß, es kamen jetzt einige Tage keine Parts mehr. Ich habe die Parts auch strecken, damit nicht viel Downtime herrscht, also damit zu viele Tage ohne Parts sein müsst, denn ich habe auch nicht, ich habe, glaube ich, jetzt seit fast 2 Wochen, ich glaube, es ist ein bisschen über 2 Wochen, ja, ähm, hatte ich Ace Attorney nicht mehr aufgenommen und deswegen werde ich gleich einmal in die Gerichtsakte gucken, um zu gucken, was wir alles haben, und dann stürzen wir uns in die Gerichtsverhandlung. Also ich versuche, so gut es geht, aufzunehmen und Parts hochzuladen. Es kann aber sein, dass wir jetzt erstmal noch ein bisschen weiter bei jeden zweiten Tag einem Part bleiben. Das bitte ich zu entschuldigen. Und wenn ich genug habe, dann kann ich auch sagen, okay, dann lade ich wieder was jeden Tag hoch. Müssen wir mal gucken, wie wir das machen. Ich werde auf jeden Fall versuchen, so gut es geht, immer aufzunehmen. Und ich würde sagen, wir legen jetzt los, weil ich habe das tatsächlich sehr, sehr, sehr vermisst. Ich habe tatsächlich Ace Attorney sehr vermisst. So, wir gucken jetzt einmal ganz kurz nochmal in die Akte. Also wir haben die Red-Headed League, das ist das hier. Okay, das war das von Oktober, das wir entlassen. Okay. So, das ist die Perücke, die wir bei Greg haben. Warte. Polizeifigurweisung, genau. Und dann das Gregson. Gut, okay. Dann haben wir. Ups, wollte ich nicht drauf klicken. Gut, das ist an sich nicht so viel. Ich bin mal gespannt, was das hier öffnet. Und es kann jetzt auch sein, dass ich wieder ein bisschen zu leise in mich reingemurmelt habe und nicht alles aufgenommen habe. Darf nicht vergessen, laut und deutlich zu sprechen. There's that old familiar feeling again. The crushing pressure of this historic courthouse. Actually, no. It's a little different today. There's an even more menacing tension in the air. There is a menacing tension in the air here today, isn't there, I suppose? Yes, so. It can only be the result of the menacing appearance of the defendant. A little more courtesy, if you please. Oh my, I do apologize. However, you're certainly not mistaking that this trial is far from ordinary. What do you mean? I'm not privy to the details. However, I understand that no jury has been selected. A trial without a jury? Well, that's just like the trial of the professor 10 years ago. Close cord. Good morning, my dear fellows. Mr. Sholmes. Have you made note of my hair, Mr. Naruhodo? An outright victory for science, you must agree. To be perfectly honest, so much happened yesterday that, well, I completely forgot about your little hair problem. What to one man is a little hair problem is to another a day of drinking dubious potion after dubious potion. You have no idea how my stomach ails me this morning. Oh dear, how awful for you. I'm afraid you only have yourself to blame, Mr. Sholmes. And good morning to you, Mr. Reaper. I'm delighted to see you looking so full of whim. And I see London's celebrated great detective is as active as ever. Oh, you exaggerate, my dear fellow. Compared to my paltry engagements with a few trivial cases, the Reaper's overbearing presence is a far greater deterrent to the black roots of crime in our capital. And whilst I may not agree with your methods, there is at least one point on which I would really commend you. What an honor. And that would be your eye for a good lawyer, sir. Mr. Sholmes. After all, behind this lawyer there is a very great mind, my own. What are you trying to say? I wish only to say that you should be prepared for quite a trial, Mr. Reaper. Sorry to barge in. Gina. What's that on her arm? It's the morning band, I suppose. Father, shouldn't you be at the symposium? It's been postponed, so I have some free time. I decided to come along with the police inspector to see our country's up-and-coming student in action. I shall be very interested to see the fruits of your studies over the past year. Well, it's an honor to have you here. Let's hope there are some fruits to see. Otto? Yes, Gina? Why'd you agree to this, eh? Why'd you take him on? This Reaper block. Everyone says it was inward. But cut the boss. I'm sorry, Gina, but I just don't believe that. Well, if it weren't him, who was it? I don't know that. Yet. I don't care who calls him what. The Reaper's just a name. He's just a person at the end of the day. And if it turns out it was him who killed the boss, then God help him. Fiery eyes indeed. Fury eyes indeed. Yes, the culprit deserves every ounce of your loafing. At least that may be some solace to the deceased. Please, Otto. Get whoever did this for the boss. Gina. I hate feeling this useless, but there's nothing I can do. So, you've gotta find who done this and make the wretch pay. Counsel for the defense and the defendant. Court will be in session shortly. Make your way into the courtroom at once, please. Alright then, here we go. It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. Lord Van Zieks. One who lost his treasured brother to a mass murderer. One who lost his treasured father in a foreign court of the law. And one who lost the man who helped her escape destitution. All that misfortune, all that pain, on course to collide headlong in this trial. It's time to shine a light on all these dark events. And whatever truth is revealed, we are going to have to look it straight in the eye. Ja, ich muss sagen, bei den Ace-Attorney-Teilen, also so viele der Teile sind eigentlich wirklich sehr, sehr, sehr herzzerreißend. Mit den Schicksalen, die die Charaktere teilweise durchleiden mussten. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here to conduct the fair and just trial of the defendant Barak Van Zieks. Counsels for the defense and prosecution, are you ready to begin? The defense is ready, my lord. The prosecution is more than ready. Kazuma-sama? I've been wishing to see you in court again for so long. It feels... But I never pictured it happening like this. I never thought I would be facing you behind the prosecution's bench. The so-called Reaper of the Bailey has been a scourge like no other, undermining Her Majesty's justice system. Today, we must uncover the truth behind this scourge. In other words, this trial is going to be a lot more far-reaching than Inspector Gregson's murder. The truths revealed by these proceedings may have unpredictable repercussions through the judiciary. Accordingly, they are to be conducted as a closed trial with no members of the public present, by Her Majesty's direct orders. How will that work, my lord? The burden of all arbitration and adjudication falls on my shoulders. Therefore, as you will see, the jury's bench shall remain vacant. Vacant today? Vacant? If no members of the public are present, might I ask who's currently occupying the gallery, my lord? They are members of the judiciary, here to witness proceedings and ensure an equitable trial. Members. Oh my, this is a very unusual trial already. There is of course another unprecedented aspect to these proceedings on which I must elaborate. The counsels for the prosecution and the defense are both aliens of Great Britain? What? I believe it takes an outsider to see the truth sometimes. And as I stand here in this courtroom now, I'm quite certain this is the reason why I had to come to Britain. Kazuma? Very well, let us commence proceedings. Prosecutor Asogi, your opening statement, if you please. Certainly, my lord. The incident took place on 1st November at just after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The location was a building of flats on Fresno Street on the outskirts of the city. The victim's body was discovered there in an old single-room rental property. Yes, Inspector Tobias Gregson, a name known very well indeed to this court. Not least for his miraculous resolution of one of this country's grimness cases 10 years ago. The Professor case. How sure are you about the time of the incident? Several witnesses on the street outside heard the gunshot and all have reported the same time. Yes, that's what Gina told us too. There were a number of witnesses. I have here a plan of the room. The victim was found curled up in one corner. It's believed that he was shot from the front at point-blank range and died instantly. How has the range been determined? There were scorch marks around the entry wound. Such marks are caused by the gunpowder used to fire the bullet. Gunpowder hot enough to leave scorch marks is only ejected a few inches beyond the end of the barrel. In other words, it only happens when the target is at point-blank range. I see, yes. Thank you for your detailed explanation, Counsel. Okay, the autopsy report has been entered in the court record. The murder weapon was found lying beside the victim. And have you managed to ascertain the owner of this firearm? Oh, my lord, not conclusively. Bravo, Kazuma-sama. I'm not trying to use the gun as evidence when it's proven and can't be proven. Furthermore, my lord, as I have explained, the revolver was fired at extremely close range. The bullet passed through the victim and struck the wall behind him. There is a candelabrum mounted on that wall, and the tip of one of the candles in it was found to have been blown off by the projectile. Noticed that too, didn't we? Yes, that's right. Thank you for the thoughtful report, Counsel. The setting of the crime is clear to me. You will submit the plan of the crime scene as evidence, please. As you wish, my lord. Okay. Is this Fresno Street room Inspector Gregson's private abode? No, my lord. The room is rented to a mystic bone, but there is precious little for furniture inside, and it is generally in a poor state of repair. So what on earth was Gregson even doing there? Presumably he was investigating some case or other. When a policeman was informed of the gunshot from the witnesses and rushed to the scene, he found only the deceased inspector and the accused standing alongside, holding the revolver. The attending officer arrested the accused on the spot. So, the details of the case are clear. In that case, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. A name, please, counsel. Naturally, the accused himself. Lord von Zieks? As a prosecutor, he believes in the oath of office he's taken and will be compelled to tell the truth. Very well, let the defendant take the witness stand. Nachdem ich mir das jetzt auch alles nochmal angehört habe, die Zusammenfassung, ich glaube ja auch, dass jetzt der Tod von Gregson muss ja auch mit diesem ganzen Fall zu tun haben. Also das muss ja, das hängt irgendwie alles zusammen. Und auch wenn jetzt der Fall vom Professor aufgeklärt wurde, also wo wir jetzt eben gesehen haben, okay, das war Kasumas Vater, gibt es ja eine große Connection. Ja, eine große Connection, die alle miteinander verbindet. Und das hat man ja jetzt beim letzten Fall sehr, sehr gut gesehen. Und ich glaube, das streckt sich auch noch sehr, sehr, sehr viel weiter. Also ich bin gespannt, was wir für Brotkrumen in diesem Fall noch hingeschmissen bekommen werden für das große Finale dann im nächsten Fall. Also wir haben ja noch einen Fall danach und das wird dann der finale Fall sein. Und da bin ich dann schon mal gespannt, wie sich dann wirklich diese ganzen Fäden verbinden und wie das alles wirklich zusammenpasst. Weil mir persönlich fehlen noch ein paar Details und ich würde auch sehr, sehr gerne Sherlocks wahre Natur einmal sehen, weil ich glaube nicht, dass, oder in dem Fall ja Sherlock, dass er ist nicht so dumm, wie er uns glauben lässt. Ich bin nach wie vor der Überzeugung, dass er den Dummen, sage ich jetzt einfach mal, spielt, vor allem vor uns, weil er uns so ein bisschen auch testen wollte. Also, dass wir ihn korrigieren, also dass wir das dann sozusagen übernehmen. Und er deswegen absichtlich so gehandelt hat. Aber wie gesagt, ich kann es jetzt nicht genau. Das ist jetzt nur Spekulation, aber ich kann mir einfach nicht vorstellen, dass er wirklich so. Dass er wirklich so dumm ist. Das kann ich mir einfach nicht vorstellen. So, witness, state your name and occupation for the court. Barak von Zieks, Old Bailey prosecutor. I presume, Lord von Zieks, that you heard Prosecutor Asogi's opening precise. I did. It is alleged that you were found at the scene of the crime, and that you were arrested by the arriving police officer. Can you confirm this? Yes, my lord. And I'm sure the court would like to hear you explain some things away. Namely, why you were there in the room on Fresno Street at the time in question, and what exactly took place. I intend to explain away nothing. I will simply tell the truth. I must say, Lord von Zieks, I never imagined this day would come. Or rather, I didn't want to imagine it would come, but since you became known as the Reaper, a part of me has been dreading it. Your formal testimony then, witness. Okay, the facts of the incident. Das ist die erste Zeugenaussage und mit dieser Zeugenaussage geht es im nächsten Part weiter. Ich bedanke mich ganz herzlich fürs Zusehen, hoffe ihr hattet Spaß und wenn ihr mögt, sehen wir uns sehr, sehr gerne im nächsten Part wieder. Bis dahin, ciao!